So did you feel like you'd done the right thing?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Thanks, Rob. I did, yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. Do you think he's telling the truth?
I don't. No.
I once paid for some tapas with a Nissan Micra.
David, tapas, Nissan Micra.
How much tapas were you buying?
1 meal's worth of tapas.
Worth of tapas. So what cash value of this tapas?
In the area of £15.
OK, why?
I didn't have any money.
But weren't you aware that a Nissan Micra, even in probably quite scruffy condition, would be worth a lot more than £15?
Yeah, but if you haven't got any money, all you've got is a Nissan Micra. What are you going to do?
I don't suppose I'd eat out in restaurants.
Well, drive home and have some toast.
I couldn't drive home. I sold my car for some tapas.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So did they accept the car in payment?
Yes.
How many of you were eating?
8.
8 of you sharing £15 worth of tapas.
I get £15 worth. We all had roughly, I suppose. Well, I don't know. I didn't check.
But you didn't offer. You didn't offer the Nissan Micra for everyone's meal. You said, well, I only had this, this, and this. The Nissan Micra's only covering that. You can pay for your own. I mean, that might have been the time to be a little bit, you know, a little bit generous. I am giving a car away here.
Did none of the others think that they might chip in to save your car?
Somebody did bail me out, so I had to pay them with my car. That's all I had. They said, I'll pay you.
So it was one of your friends that you gave the car to, not the proprietors of the restaurant, then?
Well, obviously not, yeah.
Right, so one of your friends said, I'll give you the 15 quid.
I'll pay your share.
But you can't, like, owe it to me. You can't give it to me next week. I want something in exchange for it now. You looked in your pocket, I've got a handkerchief, I've got my shirt. It'd be embarrassing to take my shirt off. But it'll have to be the car.
I think what happened was, she said, I'll pay your share. I said, I've got nothing to give you, I can give you my car. And I don't think it occurred to her to say, no, don't do that, give me 15 quid next week. I'll take the car, is what she said.
What was the value of the car?
2,500 I paid for it.
And how long before the dinner?
I lost £2,485 on the deal. It was good tapas, it was nice. We had... I had albondigas. I had croquettes. Croquettes.
Don't patronise me.
And croquettes, and I had gambas a la plancha, grilled prawns.
No.
And then I threw in the floor mats for some patatas bravas.
Right, David, what do you think? Is he telling the truth?
I think not.
I'm sure.
But it's so sort of odd and weird, and I think it's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
We're all saying it's a lie. OK. Rhod Gilbert, truth or lie?
It is a... true.
So, just to be clear, everything you just said was true.
Every word of it.
You are a moron.
I once had a holiday in a Frenchman's garage.
Can I check if this is a euphemism? Seriously, how old were you, roughly? I don't mean go. Oh, 17.
38.
30. Oh, this is quite recently.
When it happened?
Yeah.
So you're 38, right?
Yeah.
You're in France. Where was the garage?
France.
Whereabouts in France?
Northern France.
Whereabouts in northern France?
Brittany.
In Britain. So you ended up in Brittany.
Southern Brittany.
Southern Brittany. And
The
you
northern end of southern Britain.
Oh, that's just south of mid-Brittany, isn't it?
Mid-Brittany.
Yeah.
What's the name of the town that you were in?
The town where I stayed in the Frenchman's garage
was...
van.
You're in the van in the garage?
No. The town...
Is this how this mix-up happened? I want a holiday in a van.
Rhod, let me speak to you as another Welshman. Maybe he'll understand me.
Ask me a nice specific question.
Did you book a holiday in a Frenchman's garage?
No, I once had a holiday.
When you arrived in the village or town called Van...
Yeah, van, yeah.
Did you already know you will be staying in a garage?
No.
Were all the hotels booked?
No.
We thought it looked nice in the brochure.
Who did?
Me and my partner.
Partner?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
Now wife.
Blimey, that was a quick 10 seconds. How about
OK. So you were going to Van.
We went to Van.
Right.
Went to a tourist information place to...
Because you hadn't booked anywhere.
We hadn't booked anywhere.
I'm with you.
Right. What happens at the tourist information place?
They said, what about this place? And we said, that looks nice.
Lovely.
It's a house with a nice
Good.
pool.
Lovely.
Looked nice in the picture,
Yeah.
so we went there.
So you got there. And when you got there...
It was a garage. The house was nice, but we were in the garage.
Was the garage decked out to look like a room, or was it just spanners and...
It looked like a room with a canoe on the side and a fuse box.
Am I old before my time? But
Yes.
at 38, you don't go on a crazy, we're not going to book where we're going. At 38, you want to know where you're going. We've
Yeah,
got a nice,
I'm with you,
comfy
Hal.
room. You know, if it is true, you totally deserve what happened to you.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it.
So you like the sort of... It was a deliberate rough
No, it was
and
a
tumble
disaster.
How long did you stay for in the garage?
2 weeks.
You stayed for 2 weeks? How much did you pay?
It was very reasonable.
I'm surprised! Did it have any windows in the garage?
No.
And you said there was a swimming pool?
Yeah, they had a swimming pool.
You were allowed to use it?
No.
I can't help thinking that what you're describing is more of a hostage scenario. And what about Mrs. Gilbert? She wasn't Mrs. Gilbert then, but how did she react? Because she's looking at you, Rhod, a tall, strapping, handsome Welshman, what everyone dreams of. And you whisked her there. Was there not a little part of her that died that day when she saw what you expected her to
She
put up
wasn't
with?
very well, if I remember rightly.
Was it carbon monoxide or exhaust fumes? All right, Lee. It's a complex tale. What do your team think?
Absolute lie.
It's a lie.
Absolutely.
Really? Based on just the floundering?
Absolutely everything.
Like what? All right, it did have windows.
What are you thinking, Hal?
It's like he's throwing in things that seem so ridiculous. And
No, but nobody would go and stay in a garage without windows.
But I think
They
he's gonna
wouldn't.
throw
You're
things on
Kelly
the-
Hoppen, though, Kelly. He's Rhod Gilbert. OK, what's it going to be, Lee? Truth or lie?
Lie.
Lie?
Lie.
Lie. I think it's true, but I'll go with my team and say it's a lie.
You're going to say
Where
lie.
the guess?
OK, Rhod. Garage holiday in France. Truth
Garage
or lie?
holiday in the Frenchman's garage in Van. True.
Oh.
Hello.
This is my Orchidometer. It was a present from my sister.
What does an orchidometer do?
Tell you what, I've seen one of those and it wasn't called an orchidometer. Admittedly, I haven't seen the whole length of it before.
What's an orchidometer, Mackenzie?
It is a piece of medical apparatus used for determining the size of testicles in male humans.
Why do you need to know the size of male testicles in humans? I'm 42, nobody's ever gone, hey, extra large.
I don't. This was bought for me by my sister.
Wait a minute. What? Some of them are so small, they're tiny.
You'd be surprised.
My sister, when I was growing up, you know, as my size bit, she would do a little pencil mark on the kitchen wall, fair enough, but...
For your testicles?
The question is whether his sister got it for him and not what this is.
His sister got it for him.
He's telling the truth. Can you not? Am I?
But this can't be real.
Take those.
This can't be real.
Have a look at him through those. Tell him your sister gave you that as a present.
Have you got truth glasses? They're not allowed on this show.
This is Greg, and he is the RSPCA officer who came to my aid when a squirrel climbed into my handbag and wouldn't get out.
If you were a lady and you saw your handbag moving, you wouldn't immediately think squirrel in there, would you? You'd think, oh, God, it's gone off again. I'm not sure, but I find it hard to think ill of Clare Balding. I think she's telling the truth.
Oh.
No, if she's lying, it wouldn't reflect badly on her character if she was lying.
It would. Even within the parameters of this game, I still don't think she would.
Do dogs like Marmite?
Dolly does. I'm not sure that's a helpful line of inquiry, is it?
Do dogs like...
They like salt.
Of course
that's
it's
why
a
they
helpful
lick.
line of
Is it a
inquiry.
helpful line of
If
inquiry?
all dogs hate Marmite, it can't be true.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on the planet that could answer that question properly.
You don't think there's anyone
On the planet that could answer the question, do all dogs like Marmite? No, I don't think there is.
I don't want this to sound like a rebuke. What I was saying was whether anyone knew whether or not all dogs might hate Marmite. You'd know if all dogs...
That's very much just the other side of the coin, in my book.
No, this isn't a coin. There are three things. There's dogs all hate Marmite,
Yes.
there's dogs all like
Yes.
Marmite,
Yes.
or there's dogs have a similar view to Marmite as humans do.
Yeah, what, let me not hate it? Rhod, surely it is almost certainly true that some dogs will like Marmite and some won't.
No. For example, I would say that no cats like baked beans.
Would you? No!
You're definitely wrong about that.
There are some foods liked by many humans that certain other species will never eat.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is different species like different things, and
No,
it is possible.
You said that
It is
the things that humans eat, that other animals, all other animals, are species...
We've got to
wouldn't
learn
like.
to work together.
Well, yeah, you really have. In that case, you need to change your opinion.
This programme has taken on tone of civil unrest. I sense anarchy at the gates. David, I'll caution you once. Control your team.
I'm going to have to call in the UN. I can no longer vouch for my team.
Truth or lie?
Rhod, what do you think?
Oh, no.
I think whatever my captain thinks, I will back him to the hilt.
Oh, my word.
Can I just say that he just touched David's leg in a slightly effeminate manner? Like that.
If that's what it takes to have them working as a team, Miranda, I'm happy.
One Friday after school, I swapped our family cat for a Scotch egg and a Smurf. When my mum found out on Monday morning, she made me swap them back.
Right. Well, when was this, first of all? How old were you?
13.
But more important than how old was he or anything to do with him, the cat. What? I mean, seriously, we're very concerned about the cat. I am.
I'm a bit more concerned about the Smurf, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm most concerned, the Scotch egg, what was your logic? Would you hide it under your bed for a whole weekend?
Why don't you three have a little chat, and when you worked out collectively what you're most concerned about, come back to me.
Can I start?
Please do.
Okay. What was the cat called? What kind of cat? What colour, please?
The cat was called Snowdrop, and as the name implies, it was tortoiseshell.
Who did you swap with?
Should I name him?
I don't know, unless he's in prison at the moment and he's...
I don't know, I haven't seen him for a long time. It was a kid who lived on an estate nearby.
Just give us his first name.
Lee.
Just with the Scotch egg, you wanted the Scotch egg. You wanted the Scotch egg so badly that you traded a living mammal for it, and then you just put it under your bed for 48 hours.
To be fair, trading a Scotch egg for a living mammal is exactly what's necessary in the manufacture process of a Scotch egg. You start off... People have decided they have live pigs, but they don't like the live pigs enough. What they want is no pigs, but Scotch eggs.
Right. Why did you want the Scotch egg? I presume for the obvious that you like them and you wanted to eat it.
Yes.
Why didn't you just eat it there and then?
Why didn't I just eat...
You said you swapped them back again on the Monday.
So why did...
That suggests you still had the Scotch
well,
egg
hang on. I mean,
the
was it
Monday.
the same one, or had you consumed it and then you just had to give a Scotch egg back?
That's right, Rob.
It's like the bloody Welsh Mafia, this. You can't help him out.
Could I get back to the cat? Cats obviously are very territorial, so would the cat not try and come home? Because they normally do if they've gone out away.
He didn't. Not that weekend.
Talk us through the actual exchange process.
I tell you what, Rob, you stand up. We'll go through it. Come on,
I am standing up.
I'll role play it with you. Right. OK, so imagine I've got my family cat in my hand.
All right.
And you, in with this hand, you have a Scotch egg.
Where are we now, Rhod? Where are we? We're in Wales. Are we in Wales?
We're in Wales.
Oh.
We're in Wales.
Right, nice. Let's just take a minute. Let's just take a minute. It's lovely. Go on.
Right. So we're in Wales.
Yeah.
I've got a cat in my hand.
All right.
Right. You've got in this hand a Smurf and a Scotch egg.
Yes.
Right, now we swap them over.
All right, here we go.
Right,
this is how it happens.
This is going to be difficult.
That, my lord, is the mechanics of the exchange.
Wow. You can put the cat down now.
Gently, Rob, gently, yes.
So what do you think, Lee? Does this sound truthful to you?
I don't think he's shown any affection for Snowdrop, and on that basis alone, I think it can't be true.
Well, weirdly, the exact same reason, I think it is true, because I know him to be heartless.
I can show you some affection. What do you want to know about Snowdrop? I can show affection with Snowdrop.
All right, how would you stroke him?
Her.
Nah, got ya. That, you have changed the sex of that cat at least 3 times.
I promise you, even if
You have!
I don't think vets should agree to do that.
It's always been a female cat, Snowdrop.
What are you thinking, Rob? Are you thinking it's the truth?
It's really starting to crumble at the end here, so I'm smelling a lie.
Both saying a lie. My team say lie. We will go with lie.
OK, you're saying lie. Rhod, truth or lie?
It is a lie. I once had a job where I had to answer the phone and say, "Hello, beef?"
There we are, Lee's team. What do you think?
What was the job?
It was a job. It was an office job where.
An office job?
Yeah, an office job.
Right.
In an office job.
Yeah, I know what an office job is.
Yeah,
the
with a certain
word
type-
office I'm not confused with is the bit about the beef that's getting to.
It's a government department where we dealt with beef and lamb and suckling cows.
Right. So what was the government department exactly? What were they
It
doing?
was it was an agricultural department of Welsh government.
So they'd ring up and say, "Hello, beef," and the kind of questions they would ask you would be.
They'd say, it was all about identifying animals.
Identifying them?
Yeah.
So you go, "Hello, beef," and they go, "I think you're just a man. I'm looking at a big black and white animal. It's saying moo. Can you help me?" "Ah, it's cow. I'm beef. Goodbye."
No. Well, either that or you might want to put them through the suckler cow. Depends if it was male or female.
What is a suckler cow?
I don't know. I only worked in beef.
Was this in Cardiff or something? Or?
No, it was in West Wales.
Was it in Carmarthen?
Carmarthen.
Kidwelly?
Carmarthen.
Haverfordwest?
Carmarthen.
Carmarthen?
You should work on the trains. The Welsh office is in Cardiff, but the Welsh office agriculture department, WOAD, is in Carmarthen.
So farmers would ring you up and ask you questions about
Farmers
beef?
would ring me up and they'd say, "Got an animal here, and it needs identification," and we would give them...
What do you mean identification?
We would give them cattle identification documents. It was the CID department, CID,
just
cattle
stop
identification.
It, stop it. I feel sick with confusion.
I worked in CID. It was
you worked in CID?
Cattle
no, it makes sense. You worked for CID.
There's been a mooder.
CID was cattle identification document, so it's like a cow passport, and they'd ask us questions about
that. Cow passport?
A cow passport. They'd ring up and they'd say, "We've got a new cow in town."
So you'd send out the official documentation.
They would tell me the animal's details, and we would print up a CID, cattle identification
because
document.
Because each one needed this. Everyone had to have this.
Every cow.
Oh, every cow, yes.
So what are you going to say then, Lee? Is he telling the truth?
Well, if you know a lot about cows.
A little. I've rung up departments of DEFRA and said hello, and they've said hello, beef.
Yeah.
True. And the whole WOAD thing, you wouldn't just come up with that.
Unless you were very quick and very clever.
OK, we'll go with true.
You're saying true. Rhod, were you telling the truth?
It was...
true!
This is Tony. And for 5 years, he was my badminton doubles partner.
Sally, what is your relationship with Tony?
This is my uncle Tony, and last year I asked to have a go on his mobility scooter, and I drove it into a pond and wrote it off.
Right. Finally, David, how do you know Tony?
This is Tony, and when I was little, he used to help me get to sleep by telling me bedtime stories about the war.
How long ago were they? that you were playing badminton as doubles?
That we were doubles partners?
Yes. How many years
10,
ago?
15 years?
You were... and when did this end? When did this end?
We had to stop because I was getting on a bit.
And how did your partnership begin?
Well, we played for the same club.
What was the club called?
It was in West London.
West London, go on.
Yeah,
You can't remember the name of the club?
It was called Old Actonians.
Old Actonians Badminton Club.
Well, yes.
Did you wear the full gear, short shorts and, you know, looking...
No, I wore a miner's helmet and he wore a frogman's outfit. Of course we did, Des.
Did you ever win anything yourself and Tony?
We won a lot, yeah.
And why did you come about playing together then? Why didn't you go for someone, no disrespect to Tony, why didn't you go for someone a bit
Because
more...
we complimented each other's game.
When you say you complimented each other's game, you went, you're good, so are you. Come on.
Out of you two badminton players, Rhod, who would you say was the better?
Tony was a much better player than me. Tony played for England.
This started out, we were just knocking around in a West London club. Now, he is the Rafael Nadal of badminton.
Why, if he played for England, and he was so good, why is he choosing you to partner him?
I think it would be fair, and Tony wouldn't mind me saying that when I played with him, he'd have been probably in his, I think he was in his early 70s.
Whoa, when you were playing with him?
When I was playing with him, yeah.
OK. The prime age for badminton. particularly international level.
Time for an answer, Lee.
I think Rhod we can discount. There were too many flaws.
I agree with you. I think it's one of the other two. And I've got a horrible feeling that it's David in the middle there.
I know which one David is.
Is Tony Rhod's badminton buddy, Sally's scooterless uncle, or David's bedtime storyteller? What are you going to say?
It's not Rhod.
It is. Tess, what are you going for?
Sally.
Sally?
I think David.
And in a weird way, I've now gone back to Rhod.
I have, thank you.
You see it in his little Welsh eyes. But you're wrong. In his little devious Welsh eyes. And trust me, if there's one thing I know about working on this show, it's a little devious Welsh eyes. Rhod or Sally?
Or Sally?
It's Sally.
Sally?
Yeah, it's Sally.
It's Sally.
Sally, right. Tony, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Tony, and Rhod was my badminton partner for 5 years.
A mistake I made in France meant someone in England got hospitalised.
Please, team.
Have you just learned to read?
Was the mistake you made in the French language?
It's a simple question, Rhod. Was it in the French?
Was it in the language of
Right.
the
It's
French?
a simple
question with a simple answer.
Right.
Yes, it
Can
was.
you tell us the mistake you made, please?
The mistake I made got somebody hospitalised. That was the...
I didn't say... No. That's not worthy of a clap. What was the mistake?
What was the mistake?
Say. Lee, I'll take it from here. What was the nature of this mistake?
It was a language thing. It was a French-English mix-up. It was a mix-up, a terrible mix-up, language mix-up.
What were you doing in France?
I was on the phone. I was in France. I was working in France, and I was on the phone.
Working in France.
I was on the phone to England, and I made a mistake with my French-English translation.
Who received the mistake?
A girl.
What was her name?
Anne.
What colour hair does she have?
I don't know. She was on the phone.
So you never met her?
I never met her.
So can you talk us through the incident?
I was asked by someone in France. They said, "Can you talk to somebody in England?"
Why did they ask you to do that?
Because they didn't speak English.
Right. What was the relationship between Anne and the person that had asked you to talk?
Oh, that was Anne's father said, "Can you speak to Anne? She's in England, and we're in France. And ask her what's wrong with her."
How did you know him? What was
How
the
did you know him?
relationship?
There's a new angle.
Oh, I knew him. Oh, you should have asked. I knew him because I worked in France. I was in a school. I worked in a school. He was the caretaker.
What were you doing in school?
I was teaching English.
Now, his daughter, she's French.
Yes.
She's living in England.
Yeah.
Now.
No, she wasn't living. She was on a very short exchange thing.
Right. Now,
In the words of Questioner Sport, what happened next?
He came to me, he said, can you talk to my daughter, Anne? She's ill, she's in England. She couldn't speak to the family she was with. That's the problem. That's the problem.
So she didn't know how to speak to the family?
She couldn't speak to the family because the
How
family was
is you
English.
speaking to her going to help that?
Right, here's the situation. Anne could talk to her dad and tell her what was wrong with her in French, but he couldn't say that to the family because they didn't speak French and he didn't speak English. So he came to me, who spoke both languages. I went to her, I spoke to her in French, then I passed it on to the family in English. What's wrong with them? I passed that on to him in English, then I passed it back to him in French. Everyone's happy.
Now,
she got...
You said that you made a mistake that caused this person to be hospitalised.
That's right, I did, yeah.
What did you do wrong? What did you say wrong?
Yeah. I said, qu'est-ce qui se passe, qu'est-ce qui se passe, qu'est-ce qui se passe, all that, you know, as you do. And she said, j'ai une angine, j'ai une angine.
Was she stuck in the bell tower? I know what's wrong with her. Is this something to do with her back?
J'ai une angine.
And what is that? What does that mean?
Well, I said, I got the English family on the phone and I said, hey, she's got an angina. She's got angina.
And that's a mistake, right?
Well, angina, I found out later, is a serious heart condition, so she was hospitalised.
But what was wrong with her?
Angine is a sore throat. I didn't know that at the time.
And what happened? Did they then rush her to this hospital?
They called 999 and got her into hospital, yeah.
Nuff, nuff, nuff.
OK, so, Lee, what are you thinking? Could it be true?
I don't think Anne is a French name. That's the one bit in it that I don't believe.
Anne-Marie?
Who's she?
Don't know.
What an absolutely amazing answer.
That's one of the funniest things anybody's ever said.
I believe it to be true.
You believe it to be true?
Mm-hmm.
OK.
It was so torturous getting that story out that it has to be the truth.
Yeah.
Lee, you think so too?
It could not be any truer.
Rhod, truth or lie?
Of course, it is true. I was sacked from my job at a zoo when my boss found out I had been taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
Just to clarify, were you wearing the hats or the animals?
No, I was taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
Yes, just to clarify, were you wearing hats or the animals?
Well, you think I was taking photos of animals while I was wearing multiple hats?
I would say that in the world of oddness, a man wearing two hats is no odder than an animal wearing one.
Can you give us some examples of animal hat combos that you took photos of?
Yeah, I've done monkeys in bowler hats.
Of course.
I've done a hippo in a flat cap. And, well, I was going to call him a snake. It wasn't a snake. It was in the reptile house, but I don't know what he was, but he was wearing a fez.
Were these miniature hats, can I ask, Rhod, were these little animal hats or human hats?
On the hippo? Are you mad?
No, but on the thing in the reptile house, I'm thinking a full-size fez is going to just hide the creature.
Yes, but what you're saying is, were the hats to scale?
Thank you. Rhod, were the hats to scale?
The hats, well, I mean, to scale is a grand way of putting it, but I would certainly try and, try and make the hat fit.
Right.
The top of a hippo's head is actually quite a slippery affair.
Oh, you've got to get the right hat.
When you
What was your official role at the zoo?
General dog's body, basically.
I get the feeling that if you were going to put hats on animals, you'd have gone for deer stalkers and bear skins, you know?
I didn't say I didn't. We just haven't got all the way through the animals.
OK.
Right. You name a hat, you name an animal.
Deer stalker?
No, I didn't do a deer stalker.
Oh.
I didn't have a deer stalker. It wasn't a comprehensive... You can't
But you had a
cross-reference every
fez,
animal.
and you had a massive hippo-sized
Yes! It was a regular flat cap.
So what you're saying is
I didn't have every single animal in the zoo, and it wasn't every hat. I didn't cross-reference every single combination of animal and hat. I just put some on some.
Rhod, where was this zoo? Was this a Welsh zoo? Was it Pennscunner Bird Gardens, for example?
It was down in Pembrokeshire, in a place called Oaksnade.
Oaksnade?
Yeah.
There's a chain of snade zoos, isn't there? There's Oaksnade, Whipsnade.
And how did it all come to an end? What stopped this?
I got caught.
And who was it who apprehended you?
It was the manager of the zoo.
As a zoo owner and manager, I wouldn't have been offended. I can't see anyone being offended by a fez on a snake and a flat cap on a hippo. I'd have been...
Just what the zoo needs.
If it's down there in South Wales at this oak snade or something, I'd have thought any little hat on a cat would have done the
Why?
trick.
Because it's a Welsh zoo? Our animals aren't good enough in their natural habitat. We'd better dress them up a bit. You racist bastard. Unbelievable. Well, David, what do you think?
Well, I'll ask my team first.
I mean, I've never heard of Oaksnade Zoo. Have you ever heard of Oaksnade Zoo?
Is that the most you doubt about that?
Okay, no.
Okay, cap on a hippo.
Mackenzie,
Fair enough. Oaksnade Zoo. Not having it. Not having it.
My girlfriend owns a zoo. We tour zoos, and Oaksnade's never been on our agenda.
Oaksnade, the zoo that shares a syllable with Whipsnade. I think Mackenzie's right. That's the chink in the otherwise impenetrable armour of plausibility. That Oaksnade Zoo doesn't exist. I think we're very happy to say lie.
You're saying it's a lie, so, Rhod, were you telling the truth or were you telling us a lie?
Well, chaps, I'm afraid I was telling a lie.
I cannot go on airport travelators. The one and only time I did, I got so freaked out by how superhumanly fast I was walking, I had to be taken to the sick bay to calm down.
Lee, what do you think?
Right, I mean, just how fast would you say you were going?
Superhuman was the word I used.
OK, how fast would you define superhuman? Because I've got my own definition.
Have you? Well, what's yours?
I asked you first.
Let's just say it went very fast, I didn't like it.
So you're saying that you were on it, you had to be escorted off, taken to the sick bay?
I wasn't escorted off, I got off the end and then I sought assistance.
You felt nauseous, did you fall
That's
off?
right, I felt nauseous.
What's the difference between nauseous and nauseous? David, what's the difference between
Excuse me,
nauseous
you could have asked me. Excuse me!
I'm
a human being!
I'm imagining you'll refer me to David. David, what's the difference between Is it simply pronunciation?
I think it's simply pronunciation, Rob.
Oh,
yes.
OK. Thank you, David. As you were.
Shall I tell you another thing I don't like? It freaks me out when escalators don't work. You know, when you go up an escalator and you get up and you're exhausted and your legs are burning and you walk, and they don't work, it's more tiring than the stairs, yet when you get to the top, you still fly off the end like that. That freaks me out. I don't like that feeling of lack of control. The escalator doesn't work, and yet you still fly off the top. Why is that?
I don't think you do fly off the top. I think that's
No, you do fly off the top,
your
David.
brain telling you a
No,
lie.
my brain doesn't tell me anything. Honestly, it does happen.
Rod's brain does not tell him anything.
No.
Is that official, yeah?
What do you mean? It's not my brain telling me I'm
You're
flying off
saying
the
that
end.
we're on at the top of a stationary escalator, you in some way are thrown
Yes.
off the end of it
Yes.
as if it were...
As I described.
That's nothing to do with the electrical motor in the escalator that isn't turned on.
I'm not saying it is.
That's because you're using a certain amount of extra energy in order to go up some stairs,
Yes.
and then suddenly it seems easy to go on the... Well, you'll find that at the top of a normal flight of stairs.
No, you won't.
Yes, you will.
Nobody flies off the top of a normal stairs. Hang on a minute, let's have a go, shall we? Let's give it a little go. Oh, you're right, David. Oh, you're quite right.
What I'm going to tell you now, Rod, you may not be ready to hear. But the feeling of getting to the top of a normal flight of stairs
is not the same.
And the feeling of getting to the top of an
Rubbish.
escalator that
Rubbish.
is not turned on
Rubbish.
is
Rubbish.
the same.
It's not.
It is the same.
It's not.
It is the
It's
same.
not.
This is madness.
It's not. Well, you're saying... You started off saying it's
I'm not going to discuss it anymore. I've told you the information. At some point, you will accept it.
Yes.
Rod, you're on this travelator, OK?
I was, yeah.
And you didn't like the fact that you were going so fast. Would that be a fair assessment?
Well, that's exactly what I said, so yes.
Yes. Why didn't you stop walking so you weren't going as fast?
I just don't like the way they kind of bump.
Tell you what.
They kind of shift along. I just don't like that.
Oh, it's the
feeling.
up and down motion.
Well, there's a
Why
little
didn't you-
cushion padding in it, yes.
You could have walked backwards and then you'd been standing still.
Yes, I know, but
If you judge the speed right.
All right, but I had a plane to catch, David.
So what do you think, Lee?
Tess, what do you think?
Well, I'm trying to read his body language.
Because I'm a woman and we do intuition very well.
He's very laid back. He seems very committed.
Very committed,
he might
very
be telling the
confident,
truth.
very laid back.
Yes.
What about you, Des?
I just think he's telling the truth.
I think he is.
Thank you, Des.
I think he might be telling the truth.
You're saying true?
Am I? True.
True. True. Rhod, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie.
This is Tony, and we played in a band together. We both played guitar, except only his was plugged in, because I can't play a note.
This is Tony. He's my builder. He drove for over an hour to come to my house to fix my TV, and it turned out all I needed to do was change the batteries in the remote control.
This is Tony, and I regularly go round to his house to play with his Lego.
OK, so Rhod. Sorry, remind us of your fact.
I can't even remember his name.
It's Tony.
I know what it is. I'm bluffing.
It's a bluff. It's a bluff.
I'm bluffing. Right. This is Tony. We played in a band together. We both played guitar, but only his was plugged in because I can't play a note.
You can't play.
What was the band called?
It was a long time. Muck Spreader.
Muck Spreader. And where did you get the name from?
Two of the band were like farmers. It's rural West Wales.
Why were you part of the band then? If you couldn't play and you weren't singing?
Because Tony was the lead singer and guitarist, and as you see him now, that's the kind of charisma he brought to the stage.
Why were you in the band? Why were you in the band?
That's what I'm coming to. That's what
you were there for charisma.
No, Tony was. This is what he was like as a lead front man.
Surely he didn't put his arms behind his back when he was playing the guitar.
No, he had a guitar. He had a guitar in front of him.
Yeah.
But in all other ways, that is exactly what
Dressed
he
in a
was
suit.
like.
Right.
And he was that dull and uncharismatic at the front of the So boring was he at the front.
That is not... we're not doubting that. What we're doubting is the fact that he thought you could help that situation.
They saw me dancing kind of on the dance floor in a barn dance thing, and they thought, we need a front man, because I was so dull.
So you were like the Bez?
The Bez,
I was exactly like the Bez, but with a guitar.
And what kind... Well, I was going to say, what kind of music did you play, but you didn't. What kind of music didn't you play?
Well, the band was a sort of punky, rocky sort
Can you...
Punky rocky, is that how you introduced it, Johnny Rotten? And now we're going to do some punky rocky music.
Can you do a...
I'm the Muck Spreaders.
Can you do...
I am the Antichrist. I'm not, I'm a farmer. We're the Muck Spreaders.
All our songs had the word muck in the title.
Like what?
Like, hey, hey, we're the Muck Spreaders. Muckadoo about nothing.
You did Shakespeare plays as well. Oh, I see now it's all making sense. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this punk rock band would now like to perform a piece from Shakespeare. But he won't be speaking, he's not plugged in, he'll mind me.
Would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Tony, and I drove to Claudia's to fix her remote control.
I once dug up my dead hamster and gave it a wash.
What age were you when you bought it?
Oh.
And what age were you when it bought it?
Oh, God. When I bought it, I must have been 25.
25? Sorry. What? 25?
6.
So, I think we were...
6.
So I must say, I was thinking it would have been...
I don't know exactly. I did not record my age when I went into the shop.
OK, but we're not
Not to use
splitting hairs between 23 and 24
Mid-20s.
here, right? You weren't 9, is what we're basically getting here.
No, I tell you what, maths really is your strong point.
Yeah. No, the point is, who in their 20s buys a hamster?
I like the fact that it doesn't seem unusual that he dug it up and washed it. That's all right.
Did you
had a hamster in your mid-20s?
Did you wash
Surely
it?
that's not the bit you should be focusing on.
Did the hamster have a name?
Yes, so his name was... Yanto.
How's that spelled?
I-A-N-T-O, I think.
Does it have...
To be honest, I never had cause to write his name down.
You don't have to worry about the spelling of any pets, really. They just crop on.
I think there are times when you have to write... You might be writing an email,
Yeah.
news to a loved one. By the way, Yanto's looking peaky.
Quite right, I did
Did
once...
you not put a little tombstone, thus making it easy for you later to dig him up and wash him?
He did have a tombstone, yeah, of sorts. Yes.
And did he not have Yanto written on the tombstone?
Tragically, there was already something written on his tombstone.
What was it on?
It was a lollipop stick.
It had a joke on it.
The hamster died and you buried it where?
In the garden.
How long was it under the earth before you dug it up? Was it sort of months later?
No, probably a day or two.
Was it in a container, a sort of hamster coffin?
It was in a container, yeah.
What was the container?
It was in a smoothie bottle.
A smoothie bottle?
He was in a smoothie bottle. How did you get the hamster into the smoothie bottle?
With the lolly stick.
No, I took the top off and just pushed him in.
You sort of forced him in? So I imagine...
I had to, he was dead. I tried persuading him, but it didn't work.
And then how would you get the hamster out to wash it?
Or did you put the water in the bottle, put the lid back on, give it a shake, and then take the lid off, and then...
No, you wouldn't want to put water in. You'd want to put lots of fizzy drink in, shake it up, and he's out. And then you go...
The thing that we haven't established in all of this is why you felt you had to clean him.
Because he had like a strawberry Mohican. It was gone stiff.
There's still strawberry stuff in there?
Yeah, I hadn't rinsed it out properly.
And you were racked with guilt?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Can you describe the washing?
If I'm honest, the washing of him doesn't stand out that much in my... It was a fairly straightforward rinse and blow dry, as I remember.
Not a blow dry. Come on, you didn't blow dry him.
In the kitchen...
Been anywhere nice on your holidays? Do you want a tea or anything?
Did you run the hamster under the kitchen tap?
I washed as much of that strawberry smoothie out of his sticky, brittle hair as I could. We said our goodbyes and buried him in the garden.
So did you feel like you'd done the right thing?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Thanks, Rob. I did, yeah.
That's good. That's
That's
good
nice.
to know.
That's
Do you
good.
think he's telling the truth?
I don't.
No.
Maybe a quick flick under the tap, but I don't think he'd spend time scrubbing down the...
So you're saying lie?
We're saying it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie.
Yeah.
Rhod, the hamster, the burial, the resurrection. Is it the truth, or were you telling a lie?
Obviously, it's true. I can't wear normal gloves because I have an unusual hand.
Hey.
Which of the two hands is unusual?
That one.
Would you hold up your unusual hand?
I'll show you some of it.
That's quite an unusual hand.
Is it all gloves, or is it just certain gloves?
Do you mean those really odd gloves with the thumb and the four fingers?
No, because they're on mittens.
Yes.
And they're called mittens.
Yeah, that's still a glove.
No, it's not.
It is. A mitten's a glove.
No, it's not.
It is.
Admit it, a mitten is not a glove.
Can I just say, you're both saying it like two people who aren't quite sure of the real answer.
You're absolutely right.
You're
I'm
both
doubting
saying
myself.
it with conviction, but neither of you know the truth.
This might help you. I could wear mittens, but I can't wear gloves.
Ah,
You've got webbed hands.
Have you got webbed hands? Have you got webbed fingers?
Yes, I got webbed fingers.
Is this why you couldn't play the guitar in Muck Spreader?
I could draw well, I haven't got a pen and paper, so I can't. So there we go.
OK.
Is it
I
all
have pen and
gloves?
paper. Pen and
Oh, you
paper.
would have pen and paper, wouldn't you?
Are you going to draw around your hand?
Yeah.
But not let us see?
Draw around
Yeah,
your
all
hand,
right.
but don't... I'll come to you. It's all right. I've got to even it out. Have a seat, sir. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Right, draw it. Go on. Draw it.
Draw it.
Do it. Draw it.
Draw around it, yeah?
Draw around it.
Rob, you're to witness it, yeah?
Well, I'm going to witness it. All right, OK. He's drawing round his fingers. Good God. Let me take it. Thank you, Rhod. That must have been very traumatic for you.
It certainly was.
This is what Rhod claims is the outline of his hand.
Oh, so only one web on one hand?
I've known you for 15 years. You'd have noticed if I had a complete flipper.
So, what are you going to say, Lee? Is this the truth?
What do we think?
What do you think?
I'm in the worst position now because I've known him so long. I can't help thinking I would have known this.
I weirdly think it's the truth.
Why?
Well, I feel like it was a very good drawing.
You think that
I like it.
Do you not think if you didn't have one red finger that you couldn't have improvised that?
No, because if you... I was assuming it was going to be fake and they were all going to be webbed, but one being webbed is very...
Maybe that's his attempt at 5 web drawings and he's rubbish at drawing.
OK, what's it going to be, Lee? It's time to decide.
No, I got it wrong on the trailer. Don't ask me anything.
OK. So you don't know?
It's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
I got David wrong, so I think we should ignore me.
Just, you do it.
Ignore me.
So your advice is I'm not sure, I don't know, maybe a lie, and
ignore me.
I've really got the winning team this week, haven't I?
So what's it going to be?
Let's go for lie.
Lie.
It's got to be a lie.
Saying it's a lie. Rhod, was it the truth or was it a lie?
These won't show you. I don't mind if I get mine out.
I might have to undo a button first.
Yeah, undo a button.
I'll sort it out, don't worry.
All right.
I can confirm that is a potato.
What? Why have you got that?
Rhod, if I were you... Rhod, if I were you, I'd have that checked out.